What's your name?
Igor, good to meet you. My name is Nikolai.
Nikolai, nice to meet you too.
Okay.
It's a Russian name, by the way.
Absolutely.
It's a Russian name. Are you from Russia, or maybe you have a
No,
background?
not from Russia, but it's my Russian Australian name.
Nikolai, Russian.
Nikolai. I've got
Okay.
many friends from Russia, and their name is Nikolai, and we have the same name.
Okay, is it the preferred name? So when you at work say, or maybe with your friends,
Normally they
use
shorten it to Nick.
Nick. Okay, so it's Nikolai.
Yeah.
All right. So you know about Russia.
Well, I have a passion for the heritage and the culture of Russia and many of the former USSR countries. One of my most visited countries in that part of the world is Georgia. It's a beautiful country. I've met some really good lifelong friends there.
Yeah.
And one of the things that struck me, Igor, is that a young man who was introduced to me through an Aussie friend of mine that was over there, he said, Nick, there's something that I really like about you and the Georgian people hold in high regard, and that is that you have a clean mind. So that clean mind is something that's important to them, and their faith as well. They'll walk past a church and they'll do the cross.
Yeah.
They take time to look at the big picture, to look at things beyond just the world of man.
Yes.
I like that discipline. I like that culture. So I've made a lot of friends in that part of the world. I'm looking forward to going to Russia as well in the future. It's one of my bucket list goals.
Especially in St. Petersburg. I'm from St. Petersburg. This is the most beautiful city in the world, probably.
I've heard,
well,
and
at least in Russia.
You know, some of the railway stations over there, they're like works of art. They're museums.
Yes.
And just seeing the way that there's a perception on public domains where people can go in nice, clean, safe environments. It has a great appeal for the West.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the key things, the tradition in the country, the steadfastness of the Russian people. Look, I'm sure with every culture there's good and bad. And obviously with the situation happening in Ukraine, it would be tremendous to see that brought to a resolution. I think the parties are working towards that. I think we'll see peace between Russia and Ukraine. I can see the reason why it came to pass with NATO pushing up on Russia's border, which broke the agreement that they had. And of course that's provoking the bear, and when you provoke the bear you're going to get scratched. So yeah, look, I think there's a great future for the unity between Russia, between the United States, between all the areas around Russia, Belarus, Georgia, and a lot of the other regional areas.
You know about everything, yes.
Not at all.
You know about everything.
I've just travelled a few countries, but I do enjoy meeting people and hearing their stories. I also have some really close Ukrainian friends as well, and they're hurting. They're hurting, and they want peace as well, and they want to make sure that the deal comes back so that they're not giving up their country or signing over minerals agreements for the next 200 years in impoverishing the people.
I believe so.
So we want to see something that's a reasonable and just outcome for everyone. But anyway, tell me why you're here today. What are you looking for from your you run your media channel?
Well,
here.
yes, that's been about a year.
Yeah.
So I got this channel, and maybe 1 year and a half.
Okay.
Well, I've been talking and I've been explaining to possible future immigrants that it's not as easy as they could think to migrate to Australia.
Well, it's not if you're Russian,
these days.
or if you're Serbian, or if you're Orthodox, or if you have a Christian faith. It's extremely difficult, and this is one of the reasons I'm marching today. It's not because I have a problem with immigrants. I'd love to see double the number of immigrants, but I'd love to see people that share our common values in this country. I've got a really close personal friend of mine. I recruited him once to do some soccer videos for my son. He was living over in Serbia, and so I went to meet him over a long weekend in Easter, and I drove all the way from Venice down to Serbia on my way down to the south of Italy. So I took the long road, if you'd like. They thought I was crazy at the rental car company. But I went to meet this guy. His name is also Nikolai. Or Nikolai, in this case.
Nikolai.
And he's a lovely guy who we became friends, if you like, through the business that I engaged in to do. And in meeting him, I thought he's a stand-up gentleman. No smoking, no drinking. He's played professional A-grade soccer, or football as they call it, in 4 countries, you know, at the top level. And he's just a gentleman, if I've ever met one. And so I invited him if he'd like to come to Australia to see if he'd like to live here. And he came out, and that was 6 years ago, and he still can't get a visa. 6 years. He's a contributing citizen. He works hard every day. He pays his taxes. He's a fantastic guy. He doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, never touch drugs. He helps people. He mentors young kids. He's mentoring girls that are going to play for the Matilda soccer team, and yet he can't get a visa. And then I go and have a dinner somewhere, and I hear a person from a country like Pakistan or India bragging about how they've been here 12 months and they're already getting visas, and and they're getting all their friends in with the same thing. And it just makes it really tears at my heart to hear that someone with such character that contributes to Australian culture, that brings perfect English. His IELTS is Absolutely 10 out. He speaks better English than me, right?
Okay.
And yet he can't get a visa. It's criminal how this government is favouring people that don't love our country, that are coming here from countries that are naturally not sharing our values, and yet those that are in desperate need from countries that have been persecuted, Christians, countries that have been persecuted for their faith, can't get a visa to come here.
But Nikolai, what do you think of people, let's say migrants, so
Yeah.
as maybe I'm in this category, who think that this is not really, that it's not the best, sometimes not the best place to live these days with the crisis and stuff. So if, say, I come here and I want to express my thoughts about future of the country, and about my kids, that they are in kind of trouble because they won't be able to buy property. So
it's ridiculous. 16 to 1 the average salary.
What do you think of immigrants who can sort of make a bit of criticism against Australia? Is it okay?
I think Australia is a place where we can still, for now, criticise the government. But they're trying to change that. They're bringing in new laws. Every day they're bringing new laws. They do it at midnight. They rush through new laws, new fake emergency acts, where they can take away your property, they can burn your house to the ground, they can put you in jail, they can put you in prison, they can also inject you with experimental vaccines. They can do anything they want under these new laws. This just came in 2 or 3 weeks ago in South Australia. So at the moment we can still protest. Today is a peaceful process. No one's here causing trouble. No. Everyone loves their country.
Absolutely.
Everyone's open to the fact that we're a country of many nationalities, but we have the Australian culture, and we don't believe that if you come here, you should actually impose your culture over ours. We don't want Sharia law in this country.
No.
We want to have a country that is birthed in freedom for all men. We want to see our country, which our forefathers died for. I visited the grave of the great uncle over in Papua New Guinea. He died at 25. He shared the same name as me.
Yeah.
He died at 25 as a young man fighting for our country over in Papua New Guinea. And I was the first member of the entire family to ever visit his grave. And I didn't know it was there. I stumbled across it amongst 100 to 1,000 crosses, and I stopped in front of that one and looked, and I saw it was his. So we've had our ancestors bleed to save the country, and right now they're trying to demonise anyone that loves their country as being some sort of a nut job. And so your question was, I would say come to more rallies like this. Most people here are very pro-Russia, believe it or not. They love Putin, they love Trump. They want to see the two come together to bring world peace and to knock out the cabal, to knock out the new world order that's trying to cause wars and famine and these genetically modified foods and these dangerous toxic vaccines that are killing people left, right and centre. It's now becoming science. It's no longer a conspiracy, you know.
Thank you, Nikolai. And also, very last question. Somebody, not somebody, but media tells us that all this thing is kind of Nazi, which I don't think it's Nazi.
This has got nothing to do with it. No one here would put up with a...
So you don't think about this as Nazi?
No, no one here would put up with that.
All the media covered this stuff, covered those meetings as Nazi.
But they don't understand what Nazi is. Nazi is National Socialist. It's an extreme version of socialism. Okay, everyone here is a conservative leaning, typically, conservative or a libertarian. That's the opposite of National Socialism. So everyone here rejects National Socialism.
Yes.
We reject communism, socialism, fascism, and all those in between. So we are conservative typically, or indeed libertarian minded, about personal autonomy, bodily autonomy, freedom. Okay, there's no place for fascism in Australian culture, and it's rejected by everyone here. If there was a fascist here, they would be pulled together by 5 men and given to the police and told to, get going.
And this is good.
Yeah,
and they support us.
No, absolutely. But people don't realise that fascism and Nazism is National Socialism. So it was a National Socialist Party. It comes from the essential fundamentals of socialism, which almost, I could say, 99.9% of the people at this rally would reject. We don't need socialism in this country. This country's going down the shithole of socialism.
This is what I wanted to hear from people who visit this meeting today. Maybe I'll listen to something else, something similar from different ones. Thank you very much. I think we should move with everybody else, and see you next time.
Well done on your podcast. I hope you get 100 million followers.
100 million.
Ozzy Kozak, another good name with Russia. He's interviewed me in the past as well. I've got a lot of time for him. So Ozzy Kozak is a true Russian larrikin that's always out there challenging authority. And he came out and he said something about some names of people that are associated fiddling with the children. And of course he had to take refuge in the Russian embassy. But keep the faith. We have a lot of love for Russia in Australia.
That's
and
very
we
good.
understand.
Very
We
good.
don't read the mainstream media. We don't listen to the narrative. We know what's going on.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
go Trump, go Putin. Let's get them together. Let's ensure that there's peace with the Ukraine conflict, and we can have a great period of prosperity. But remember, our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ will prevail above us, and will ensure that we will have that consciousness come onto earth. And I think that with that faith and with that approach, we'll see peace amongst men on earth, and we'll see this totalitarian regime, this ideology that has been having a grip over the world for centuries, be rooted out and destroyed.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Absolutely
Egon.
agree with you.
All the best,
Thank
mate.
you.
Yeah.
So again, thank you very much.
Thank you.